about Jesus. It just kind of gives you an idea how mankind looks at who Jesus Christ is. I won't give you the name of the movie. It has to do with a certain race car driver. And he turns around and he says, I like to pray to baby Jesus. And he turns around and goes, why do you want to? Now, I know people that are laughing. You shouldn't be watching that movie. I'm telling you. And he turns around and says, why do you want to pray to baby Jesus? Well, I like the baby Jesus. I want to pray to baby Jesus. He's cute and he's cuddly and he's looking so innocent. And so whenever I pray, I'm going to pray to baby Jesus. And they're sitting around a table and he turns around and he says, let's bless the food. He starts praying and blessing the food. Now it's in baby Jesus to bless the food. Well, we have many views of Jesus Christ. And a lot of times we see Jesus as he's on the cross. And we see our relationship with Jesus full of romance and love. I remember one of the hardest books I read when I was in Bible school. I had to do an essay on it. It was called The Greatest Romance. The Divine Romance. And the Divine Romance it was like this romantic, dripping, lovey-dovey book all about God's love for mankind. And it was written by a man, and I said, what did you give up to write this book? But let me tell you something I know about Jesus Christ. Yes, he does love you. But Jesus Christ is one of the toughest, most outrageously awesome, incredible connections you could ever make. If I wanted to explain who Jesus Christ is to me, he's hairy. He's muscly. He holds huge hammers and calloused hands. He's willing to take on hell for you and for me. Listen, there wasn't a baby Jesus that went down to hell. Because he loved you so much, he was going to go take on the demons of hell, the devil himself, rip the keys of hell and death out of his hands, and come back through that place, come to that place where the stone is, turn to his angels, and he didn't say, would you pretty please open up the doors? He said, I'm done here. Get the door open. I've got a job to do. And he came out of that tomb, not in this milky white, long, pretty gown with perfect pedicured fingers. He wasn't like the movie stars that we see on TV. He came out of there. I bet he still had some little scorch in his hair. And he had a little bit of dirt on his gown because he had been fighting for 3 days. He came out of there holding some keys that were still molten red because they'd been in hell for so long. He came out of there with an eye saying, I'm going to get to my Father, I'm going to hand him these keys. Because my people that are called by my name, they've humbled themselves. They've come to a place of the cross and they're needing to be set free. And he took those keys before his Father. He said, there you go. Let's set them free. That's not a baby Jesus. That is a man. That is a man that's greater than any man that faced this planet. You know what? I used to like, the muscle movies. I love seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger there throwing a sword. And I like to see men being men, but I'm telling you what, next to Jesus Christ, commonality between races in America. And it was never supposed to be that way. I believe God was calling on the founding fathers to stand and make a point then. And by a narrow margin, they ended up not taking that step. You know, think about the cross of Christ. It leaves us at the exact same point. When you look at Lincoln Memorial, you see a place where you see it from two different views and a great deal amount of torment in the people that fought that civil war. There is a civil war for mankind that is taking place. And right smack in the middle of it is the cross of Christ. And mankind has a choice. Do they want to be slaves or do they want to be free? Do they want to come to a place of joy and freedom and life? Or do they want to be in a place of bondage and hurt and being held back?